Hi, I'm Peggy at Headshots by Peggy, and today we have Carlyle King with us, and we are going to have a blast today. So Carlyle, you have, you want to know the first time I watched a movie that had your voice in it?
I can guess.
Guess.
Babe.
Yes. My kids were born in 92 and 94, so guess how many times I watched that movie.
Having a child, I'm sure probably 30, 40 times. Yeah.
Yeah, a day. I think that I probably had to buy like 4 VHS tapes because they wore that out.
Yes.
That was their favorite movie.
Yeah, it was a fun gig. I have a funny story about that movie.
I would love to hear it.
I booked the job. It was shot over on Bundy, and I was running late. And at the time, I had a convertible Mustang, and I flew in there because we were going to do the job. And I'm running late, and there's the valets there, and I get out of the car, and I say, "Oh God, I'm running late. I have to be on stage 2. Here's my keys." Oh, sure, no problem. I run on stage, and the guy who I've worked with before is there, Bob. I say, "Hey, Bob." Oh God, it was great. The director's not here yet. Oh, that's so fabulous.
You gave the oh my God.
So I'm sitting there,
That's awesome.
And the guy walks in, and he goes, "All right, let's go." And as I'm going into my wallet to give him a tip,
my.
and he was so charmed
God.
by it because
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah. So
That
is my
That is probably the best story that anybody's ever told on this vlog. That's awesome.
and still worked in the town, right?
That is, and you've been
Yeah.
busy. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so
that was,
hilarious.
That's my babe story.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You've been on tons of. Your voice has been on tons.
Yes, it
You've been on
has.
tons of things, and your voice has been on tons of things.
Yes, I have.
So I've never had anyone come on here and talk about voice acting.
There's really no difference
Yeah.
between voice acting and acting. I think that it does help if you have a good voice and that you're able to have some resonance. I do a lot of looping. I do a lot of voice over. So there's the ability of not being, if I'm in a scene with you, I don't necessarily have to look at you. I'm looking at the camera because I'm making sure that I'm matching the mouths, the lips. And I could pretty much loop anybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I've been vocal matches for Sigourney Weaver, Deborah Winger, and have the ability to modulate your voice and make it sound.
So is this kind of something that you kind of found early on, kind of a skill that you naturally had, or is it something that
No.
you really got trained in, or how did you fall into this?
No, I was in a movie and I got cut out of the movie. And Jason Miller, the playwright director, he was the director of the movie, who was a friend of mine because we grew up in the same area in Pennsylvania. He said, "Well, I feel so bad that we cut you out of the movie. Why don't you do a bus station announcement?" I said, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess I could do that." So I wrote it even, and because the movie took place in Pennsylvania and I knew the area, so I wrote it. And the day I was doing it, another guy was there doing a voiceover, and his agent showed up.
Oh,
So it's like the serendipity of this business that we're in.
Exactly.
And she said, "Oh, I really like your voice and blah, blah, blah. Do you have a voice tape?" Yeah,
of course
do.
I do.
Yeah, well,
Just
I
give
didn't.
me a minute.
I didn't, but I took a few days and put some stuff together and sent it over to her, and didn't get anything for probably 6 or 8 months, and then just slowly started to book stuff, and that was a long time ago.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Acting is kind of like improv. You always say yes.
Yes, right.
I would just
there's
say
no
yes.
no. There's
Just
no,
say
no.
yes.
Well, that's funny. At the road, that's my mantra is just say yes. If somebody asks you to do something,
Yeah.
if you're available and you respect them, you say, yeah, sure, I can do that.
I can do that.
Yeah.
That's literally how I've gotten do everything I've done in my life is because, you know,
Yeah,
I'm like,
you never know what
sure,
door, what
can
door
you do that?
opens.
I'm like, sure. Especially nowadays with YouTube, you can always do anything.
Right.
Like,
Right.
of course I can fix your engine. Give me a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. No. So it's just
That's
easy.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that people like to work with people that like to work. You know, it makes it more fun.
Yeah. I think so too. I
So,
agree.
what is your favorite? You've already told us the funniest story ever. So, what's your favorite project that you worked on that was just all around, you know, just a good experience?
Anything with Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clint has. He has been a person who's hired me almost on every picture, and he is loyal, and he is funny and very easy to work with. Unfortunately, I've never been on camera, Clint.
Because I'm sure he watches my vlog.
Yeah, I'm sure. We'll
Yeah.
get him to watch it.
Yeah.
But he's also quite, there was a really funny story about him. I'm working on $1 Million Baby, and we're at the, not Warner Brothers proper lot, because that's where his studio, his office is, but we're working on their lot off of Formosa. And we're waiting for him to come to the set. And we're waiting, and no Clint, no Clint. The phone rings, and it's the guard at the guard gate. And he says, I have someone here named Clint Eastwood, and he says he's supposed to be on the stage. And everybody's flipping out. They're going,
They're
oh
like,
my God,
"You're
are you
kidding me."
kidding me? Clint Eastwood, he's the director of the movie, let him on. So he comes in, and he is just so chuffed by the fact that he drives I think it's a Cadillac convertible. Clint Eastwood, his driver's license, but the guy was from Somalia.
And so he just
He
didn't
did
grow
not
up
know
watching
who Clint Eastwood was. He didn't look at the name.
That
didn't
is
know.
hilarious.
But he was just so
That's
thrilled by it.
He thought it was great.
He
to
thought it was
not
great
be-
that I'm
to
anonymous.
just be a guy.
And,
Yeah. Because I doubt that he goes very many
anywhere.
places.
Yeah. You can't mistake him. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's
So
funny.
he's a really great
That's
great guy.
That's cool. So not only are you an amazing voice actor and actor, but you also do a lot of theater.
I do.
You want to talk
do.
about theater?
Well, I was trained in the theater. I came out here with John Hausman, got my MFA at USC, taught at USC for a year after I graduated, and now I teach my background is in Shakespeare because of Mr. Hausman, and I teach a Shakespeare program for kids, which I've taught in Pasadena area for 12 years.
Fun.
And yeah, so it's pretty extraordinary.
I think the best way to sharpen your skills and learn is to teach. I think the more you teach,
I totally
the
agree.
more you learn.
I
think that's
learn more from my kids.
exactly
than-
because they ask things and they think things and they look at things a different way than you would ever. They question things you wouldn't think to question.
And younger kids, the thing about younger children, because I teach from, the youngest has been in first grade through sixth grade, they don't even think about what they do.
Right.
They just do it. And I think that there's a reason why acting was called play acting. You know, we
Right.
play first.
Right.
And I think as we get older, we forget that it's play.
It's play.
It's fun. And we get all serious, and especially with Shakespeare. I mean, there are people my age who would never do a Shakespeare play because they're afraid of it. I have, 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds who can read. They have to read.
Right.
So that's the thing. That they have no fear. They say, they're playing these big parts, Oberon, and, and they are saying the lines
with
nothing. With just bravery. And this is the thought I have about it. And you go, okay, try that. Let's try that. And I'm blown away by them.
I'm
blown away by them. They make choices that are big.
Yeah, that is cool.
And, I don't know, we get afraid of that.
Because we forget to have fun with our life.
Yeah.
And I'm saying on
to be
here,
brave.
I say on here all the time that don't forget that you have chosen to work in this industry because it's fun.
That's right.
Because you love it. And the more passionate you are, the easier it is because you're out there having fun.
Right. Right.
You know.
No, absolutely. So
And it makes
me. I hired Phil Horacio, who's a road member, and he worked last week for the first time, and he said, "Oh my God, Carlyle, I was exhausted. I went because it's 18 kids, from second to sixth grade, and they have boundless energies, and we give them cookies sometimes, and it's like even more so.
Right.
So it's
that's awesome.
That's great.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
So, what tips and advice would you like to give my viewers?
Well, I think that you need to do everything that you can in this market now. Have not only the picture and resume and the reel and the voice. A lot of actors, which is interesting that that we're here today, don't have a voice tape. They just don't have it. They don't think about doing it. And yes, the market is jobs that I would have gotten 10 years ago are now going to stars.
Right.
And because they want that recognizable voice behind the character. There's still a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of work. And like, for example, and I know a bunch of people at the theater are doing them, Netflix is buying all of these foreign series. They're all being dubbed into English.
Right. Merrick works for Vox, and
Vox does them. Yeah. So
and he'll from time to time he'll go in and if you speak a foreign language, that's perfect. They love it because then you can actually not just be saying
figure
the words,
out what they're saying and have that,
but you actually really understand it. So you're better at you know, use the skills that you have.
Right. And all of your skills. And one person once said to me, when God gave you a skill, He didn't just give you one. Sometimes you just have to scratch a little deeper to get
find
to the
it,
other ones.
to find it.
Yeah, which I believe.
Yeah, exactly.
Hence, you do this. You do
I
all of your things. You take a photograph. It's all
Yeah.
in that quest of working and being an artist.
Yeah, exactly. And just pretty much my whole life, I've realized when somebody asks me, "What do you do for fun? What's your hobby?" I'm like, well, video was my hobby. Now I do that to make money. Photography at one point was my hobby. You know what I mean? You find what you love, and then you turn it into your life.
Yeah, I think sometimes though, and again, there are different schools of thought, that if you are very monodirectional,
right,
and you're very focused on one particular thing, you can either have great success or nothing. You know what I mean? So I think that sometimes I thought, well, if I had been more focused on being an on-screen actor, I would have had more success. If I had been more focused at, this, I would have had more success. But,
we might not be sitting here because you would be flipping burgers somewhere because
I feel like I'm a Renaissance artist in that I do a lot of different things, and
I think
I like it.
I think it makes you a more rounded person. You can concentrate on something, but don't close doors on. That's my train of thought. Don't close any doors, but don't don't.
I found it gave me a lot of flexibility because I was also a mom.
Yeah.
And so when I was a mom, I was able to write, because I'm also a screenwriter. So I was able to write while I had my daughter growing up, and I wanted to be home for that.
Yeah.
Because I felt that was important. So,
You've done a couple of things in your lifetime. A couple of things.
Just a couple, yeah.
All right, Clint Eastwood, we need to see her on camera for the next project.
Yes.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to come out here and talk to us. I think it's important for people to understand there's lots of stuff to do. Just like you probably didn't think of doing a voiceover until all this, or voice acting until all of a
something
sudden
happened. Yeah.
It was just kind of dropped in your lap. And I think with a lot of things, you don't
And
think about it.
it's easy to do because
Yeah.
if you go out on commercial calls, you can just pull the copy. You
Right.
know, you can listen to commercials on television, and then kind of drop in if you want to, just to make it look and sound more authentic. If you're doing a car commercial voiceover, then you can add in like a car being started
Right.
and music and stuff like that, just to give it a little bit more of a flair.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you say to have a voiceover tape to send out, what does that usually look like?
It usually, 3 or 4, either 15 second, 30 second, and then maybe a 1 minute. That's pretty much all you need.
Yeah.
So.
I thought we were on vibrate and silent, but apparently not.
We never are.
We never are. It's never quiet at my house.
No.
That's all right. So, and then do they want to see your range? Like if you can do like different accents and
Or
different voices.
See, I don't do
like character voices.
I'm not a big character
Right.
voice. I've done a couple of cartoon series, but it's always pretty much my voice.
Yeah.
We had to sing like sheep and babe.
Right. Bob.
Bob Ramu, yeah. It wasn't really. I lost my train of thought.
Doing character voices.
Yeah, so it wasn't really my
no.
thing. I mean, there are people who are so good at it.
And if they're good at it, they should.
Then
put
that's
that down.
what you should do
Absolutely.
if you really have that skill.
But
if
some
you
people
don't,
have like just a good
sounding
voice
to sell,
for-
cars.
Exactly.
And bumpers.
I want to buy
and-
toothpaste from you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So how long are the just a good variety, just a good variety.
Yeah, and not too long because nobody ever gets to
listens
the
to
end.
it. Nobody ever.
No. So.
I've had actors show me their reel, and it's like, I don't even do this for a living, and I lost interest halfway through. Even though it was great, and I love you, but it's like it's really long. So you got to think about that you're not
Just
the
only
only
need little nuggets.
You're not the only person sending in.
Right.
That's not you're not the only person they're going to listen to that
Right.
day. Cool. Well, thank you again for coming on.
Thank you.
I'll have you back on again because you live close to me.
I know.
And we'll talk about theater stuff one of these days.
Okay.
Just all about it. Sounds good. All right, guys. Can they follow you on social media? Are you big into social media? Do you like followers?
Gosh, I am not.
You're not.
I'm not. I'm on it.
But it's just not your.
It's not my thing. I find it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. I'll do it for certain things, for certain projects, but
Yeah. Well, you can follow me on social media, and I'll talk about her. How's that?
Sounds good.
Thanks again
Thank
so
you.
much. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure that you do that. Like, share, and leave me tons of comments on this. And most importantly, have an amazing day.
Yep.
I think we did it.
We did.
Yay.